لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. May Allah accept our dua, our ibadat, and may He make the month of Ramadan easy for us. May He make us among those who Allah will free from the punishment of hellfire. Inshallah, we want to make this Ramadan a means of getting to know ourselves better, especially the youth and the young people in the community. Over the past couple of years, we noticed that there has been not so much engagement of the youth people with the masjid. And we want to use this Ramadan as a means of strengthening that. Essentially, one of the projects we want to use this Ramadan for is to get in touch with the youth and the young people, especially people who are less than 20, 21 in that age bracket. So I will encourage all the parents to kindly bring their words to the masjid, their children. Let them come to the masjid, especially for Taraweeh. Let them come to pray all the salawat. Let them see Islam. And through that, we'll be able to connect with them, especially we that we are young. We are in the same age bracket. We can speak to ourselves. We know what bothers ourselves. We know how to come in. And so we will use this as a means of mentorship, support, and create that friendly environment for people to thrive in the community. May Allah make it easy for all of us. We will continue to repeat this announcement. Inshallah, let's tell one another, the parents, let's bring our children to the masjid. Young people, let's tell our friends, and let all of us come to partake in this success story. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khairan, brother. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, afdal salatu wa atammu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We have read 10 pages of the first chapter, the first juz'. The Qur'aan al-Kareem is about 30 chapters, 30 ajza'. Yes, about 11 pages. The issue here, Abdullah, is that the first juz' and the first pages of Qur'an that we open nowadays are not the first ayat that were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So the first ayat that was revealed was Iqra, which is in the chapter 30, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that those pages until the hereafter will remain the first pages of Qur'an. If you will give Qur'an to anybody, he will open the first page and he will see Al-Fatiha and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. So this is the introduction of this book. One of the scientists, Western scientists, who actually reverted to Islam, he said, when I opened Qur'an, I expected some kind of introduction. You know, in every book, there's an introduction. Even in the Bible itself, there's maybe 60 or 100 pages of the introduction, saying how they collected the Bible and how from any versions and from any translation and so on. So he was shocked when he opened the Mus'haf. No introduction, no name of the author, nothing at all. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book that there is no doubt about. He thought to himself, that makes sense. This is a word of Creator. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord, the Creator, Al-Azim, Al-Khaliq, send a message, he will not give any introduction. There is no need for any introduction for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those first ayat gives us the meaning of how glory Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. There is no need for introduction. And the second thing that we see in this introduction, in this first ayat of Qur'an, 3 types of people. Again, this is the Lord talking. This is the Creator speaking. 3 types of people. Muttaqeen, Kafirin, Munafiqeen. Muttaqeen, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. After 5 ayat about muttaqin. 2 ayat just about kafirin. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. 2 ayat about kafirin, those who are disbelievers. 5 ayat in the first about muttaqin. And then about 17 ayat about munafiqin. And this is an indication, this is another indication. First of all, this book is a message, just like we have been saying in the khutbah. It's a message. There are people who are blocked-hearted enough not to receive any message. Those are the kafirin. And there are people who are pure enough to receive the message properly. But what about those munafiqeen, 17 ayah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this incredible ayah, He described the situation of munafiqeen with the example of رَعْدٌ وَبَرْقٌ يَجْعَلُونَ أَصَابِعَهُم فِي آذَانِهِمْ. What was the beginning of the ayah? مثلهم كمثل. So, okay, you'd ask yourself, who are those munafiqeen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about an example. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. So someone who started the fire and then suddenly the fire disappeared and he was in complete darkness. Complete darkness. Another example, so darkness. This is the first indication. The second example, أو كظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم. What was the ayah? فلما أضاء. This is the first example. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون أو كصيب. Incredible example. أو كصيب من السماء. Heavy fire, heavy rain. فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق. Darkness, heavy rain, thunder in the night, and you're walking. Those people are walking in that situation. ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم. They put their fingers in their ears. من الصواعق حذر الموت. From the thunders and how the hard situation that they are in. This is an example. Example of what? Of munafiqeen. When I first read this ayah and I've read 3 or 4 tafsirs, I didn't understand actually. This is a hard example to understand. Okay, so they're walking in the darkness, in the rain. What does that mean? If you still do not understand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you or gives you in the Qur'an 20 pages of examples. 20 pages of examples. After this passage, you will start with the story of Adam, just one page, and then directly to those people, sons of Israel, Bani Israel. 20 pages of examples of how people are literally in the darkness and they are just wandering in the night.
كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه.
وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا.
What is the word قاموا means here? قاموا means stopped. So they walk when they see very little light, and then when it comes, the light disappears. It's okay, the light disappears. They just stop. قاموا here doesn't mean stand. قاموا means stop.
So when there is a light because of the thunder, they walk. And suddenly there's no light, so they stop. And another light, they walk. Darkness, they stop. Walk and stop. Walk and stop. They're not like the kafirin. The kafirin, they don't walk from the first place. They have a block in their heart. سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. So whether you call them for Islam, whether you do not call them for Islam, whether you make da'wah, whether you do not make da'wah, whether you're a good person, kind person, good way, bad way, they will not believe. There's a block on their heart. And in the Qur'an, inshallah, in other chapters, we will see what is this blockage. But those munafiqeen know, they have some light. There's a light, they walk. But suddenly the light goes off. They stop. They walk, they stop. We don't understand, If you do not understand, if you still do not understand, just read the first chapter. We have read half of it, 11 pages, like Abdullah said, and we will read the second 9 with Shaikh Mu'adh, inshaAllah ta'ala. Go and read this juz' that we have read and see what is the literal meaning of al-munafiqeen, those who have weak iman, those who are struggling to fulfill what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered them to do. And do not look away, look at yourself, because sons of Israel have died several years ago, 100,000, 3,000 years ago, okay?
Still around.
but subhanAllah, this book is talking to people who died 3,000 years ago? Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. This is just an example to you to understand what are the consequences of a weakened iman. Orders, complainings, orders, running away. Do this, will not do that. We want to see قالوا أرنا الله جهرا. They want to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with their own eyes. They have the sea, you know, the people of Moses, they were running away from Pharaoh, from Qur'aan, and they were just in the sea. And in the famous story, they have seen the sea shattered in half, in 2 halves, in the front of their eyes, but they want another miracle. They want to see God Himself. Isn't this the situation now? We have spoken in one of the khutbahs about the atoms, and this is a personal experience of me. I was watching, I said that in the khutbah because this is a personal experience. I told some of the people here about this. I was watching a documentary about atoms. You know atoms? And 1 hour about atoms and pictures of atoms and how they are made and how they are molecules and with each other and what did Einstein say and what did that scientist say. 1 hour of atoms. I stopped the video. I was watching with my iPad. I stopped the video and I looked at my wall and I started seeing atoms of my wall and I was about to faint and lose my consciousness. Actually, I fainted. I literally fainted. I looked at my wall and I put in my mind that this wall is about atoms and they are very tiny and they are in millions and billions and billions, and so is that really the situation? Is it real? Oh no, it's miracles, it's fairy tales. It's real. It's not miracles, it's not fairy tales, it's real. Everything around us consisted of billions and billions and billions and billions of atoms. Isn't this something incredible? Yes, it is. When I focused enough in this simple fact, when I thought enough, thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. When I thought enough about this simple fact that we all know, my mind was about to explode. This is a simple fact. You know how cells communicate in the human body? Amongst us, many doctors, they are better placed to speak about this. You know how cells communicate? Neurons, neurological cells. You have to study 2 years to understand that. More than that. How many years in the medical school? 6 years. They study 6 years to understand how your human body, how you are now alive. 6 years just to know, just to understand a little bit, a surface of why we are alive now. Why we are sitting here talking to you. How am I talking? Neurons, electrical impulses from my mind to my tongue and the liver is functioning now, detoxicating my blood, and the kidneys are working, and I the motor neurons, I'm holding this mic. All of this is happening right now. And I still want another miracle to believe in God. The same thing that Bani Israel did. They saw with their own eyes the sea shattered in 2 halves, and they walked actually literally in the sea, and they saw Pharaoh died. But just after when they reached the shore, oh Moses, it doesn't enough for us to believe. we want to see your God. Why is he hiding? Why is he hiding from us? We want to see your God. So this is one of the meanings of this chapter. And the story will remain. So this is a journey that me and you have to do. The juzr is for you now to read with yourself. جزاكم الله تعالى.